That's the worst, when you just don't want to be there. Then every word out of, like someone telling you what to do or something that, that you got to go do, man, everything, every little thing.
Yes, and you can't have that attitude.
want
You
that.
have to shift that. Like when I went through officer candidate school is like boot camp, but it's a little longer. And I had already been in the military for 8 years when I went to officer candidate school. And, they're yelling at me about the way my underwear is folded and yelling at me about looking at my food when I'm eating and yelling at me about my socks not being rolled up right. So I'm a grown man, been in the SEAL teams for like 8 years at this point. And this happened. You know what I did? Loved it. I said, oh, really? My underwear's not measured 4 by 4 inches when it's folded up? I will correct that now and make it 4 by 4 inches.
Yeah, because deep down, couldn't you kind of recognize the value that this is somehow valuable in my goal? But man, if you're there against your will and they're like, do this or whatever, I don't even want to be here.
You also I made it into a game.
Right.
I made it into a game that I played with my full intention of winning.
Right.
For instance, they make you yell everything at officer candidate school. You have to yell every word that you say with the drill instructors or with your friends or whoever. It's not your friends, but with the other candidates, you had to yell everything. Yeah. They call it a ballistic tone. And so I made everyone yell because I was the class president. I made everybody yell 100% of the time. So, for instance, the upperclassmen had a little closet that they would sell food out of, candy bars and sodas, right? Sure. And we had to line up if we wanted to buy something. So I told all my people, when you go in there, you maintain your ballistic voice at all times. So so my whole class lines up and they're going in and everyone is yelling at the top of their lungs like, I will take 1 Coca-Cola and 1 Snickers bar, please, sir. And it took about 10 people going through, and finally the upperclassmen came out and they said, hey, you guys, when you come in here, don't be ballistic. And of course I said, request permission to speak. You guys are not maintaining the standard of officer candidate school. We are supposed to maintain ballistic tone at all times. And they just were looking at me like they wanted to kill me, but they couldn't say anything because I was correct. Yep. So that's the kind of thing. And that was a victory for my class, because that was the upperclassmen. That was like a cool victory for the class. Yeah. And everyone was all laughing and fired up, like we're going to be so perfect that people are going to get angry with us. So that's what I did.